What's up, guys? This is DJ Cross. I just want to give a quick intro video for this probably year-long project I'm going to be starting today, right now. This is going to be my tutorial project in which I'm going to be uploading a series of videos every single week, 2-minute long, to explain the basics of mixing and mastering, and maybe even get into deeper stuff if we have time. So I'm going to be calling this project my 2-minute Tuesday Tutorials project. It'll be TQ. And I'm just gonna be putting out some very basic, or I'll be progressing from very basic ideas of mixing and mastering to more complicated ones to help I guess acclimate a lot of aspiring young producers who don't quite understand what mixing and mastering is to the art form, as I was once in this position. Back in the day when I started producing, I didn't even know what mixing and mastering meant. Like, I looked it up online, but I still didn't know what it meant. And so hopefully this will give young producers, not young necessarily in terms of age, but young in terms of experience, an idea and develop the knowledge and understanding of what the art actually is and its importance in the music production process. So without further ado, let us begin. So because this is an intro video, obviously this is going to be longer than 2 minutes, but hopefully in the future I will be making 2-minute videos exactly 2-minute long, so that one, it will force me to be more concise in my speaking. It'll help me practice my speaking concisely. And two, it will, it won't bore people, because a lot of times, especially for me, when I was trying to learn mixing and mastering, I'd open up video and then it'd be like 50 minutes long, and I'd be like, oh, I gotta wait till the weekend or sometime when I have more time to watch the whole thing. A lot of times people just don't have the time to watch long videos, even though they're very, very, very helpful, and there's so much information in them. Because of our daily lives today, we want everything fast, and we want to do everything quickly. We want it in the most concise form possible. So this is another way to help people who don't have that much time to learn this, to give them some basic pointers and tips to understand it. So I guess we should start off with the basic question as to asking yourselves, what is audio engineering? The mixing and mastering process is all under this umbrella of audio engineering along with production. So let's break it down. Audio and engineering. These are the two words. Audio can mean anything that is produced, that we process as a form of as this vibrational signal from the physical world around us. It could be noise. It could be anything that causes a vibration, as if I hit this desk, if I hit my hand. Oftentimes, though, we use this word to talk about music, because music is the most familiar form of vibration that I shouldn't say that. I should say music is the most common form of vibration that we talk about when we use the word audio. So let's say that audio is music for now, and then we have the engineering aspect. Engineering, it often brings up this concept of science. You hear the word engineering and think, oh, that's like science, but at the same time, it brings up this this idea of creation and art too. So I want to say that audio engineering is to me, audio engineering is the combination of both science and art and music. So that's what audio engineering means to me. And so when we learn audio engineering, we got to learn both the art form and the science form. The art form is where you get to be creative. There are no limits. You can do whatever you want, express and manifest your own creativity. Whereas the science part is a more rigid one-step way, for example, this is how frequencies work, this is how compression works, this is how blah 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 works. So when we take audio engineering as a whole, we use both the art and the science to create the emotional the motion of the music. We utilize both the scientific aspects of music, how the waves and everything. That was a really bad way to describe music, but you use the scientific form of music along with your creativity and the art form aspect to create emotion. And that's what music essentially is at its core, is just pure emotion. Pure emotion. Except the thing that separates a lot of amateur music from professional music is how the emotions are developed. And I will talk about that in more depth in a later video. And so, yeah, let's see. Cool. Yeah. So, what I picked up from my years of learning mixing and mastering is that the point of mixing and mastering is not to necessarily change the piece in any way. The point is to find the emotional focus of the music and to bring it out, and to also help develop it as it's developing on its own, to make it stand out and to make it obvious to the listener, oh, this is the emotion of the song. And so how we do this is we have various ways of manipulating the music in a way to bring that out. And so today I will be talking about the most basic forms of manipulating music, and this is frequency manipulation. And so to talk about this, I have to explain what frequency is. But before I talk about that, I want to say I want to talk about how I forgot. Yeah, I want to talk about how music is kind of categorized, or not how music is like manifested in our physical world. Okay, so when we have music, everybody knows music as like a wave that goes really, really fast, so it kind of just looks like a blob. But that is only one view of music in our world. That is the voltage versus time view, where you can see the spikes of voltage of the music, at voltage being like the y-axis as variable with time, which is the x-axis. And that's just how we record music. When the microphone picks up noise becomes it interprets it as spikes of voltage in its pattern, and then so it draws up this like sine-like wave pattern that goes up and down, and the voltage values capture the music, the noise of the signal. And that is one way of looking at music. And the second way is looking at it in terms of frequency versus time. This is probably a form that many of you have not seen before, and I'll show this on my laptop in a sec. But it's basically, you have on the y-axis you have the frequencies of music, and on the x-axis you have time. And so yeah, I'm gonna explain what frequencies are. But also I want to talk about I forgot to say this earlier. How to achieve that professional sound. A lot of the people, they watch these videos because they want their mixes to sound professional. They want their mixes to sound awesome commercially, up to commercial standards, But and so a lot of people misinterpret this as like, oh, people they always make this excuse that their mixes can't sound as great because people in the industry have these amazing like compressors, they have these amazing equipment and all this stuff that we don't have access to, and that's why commercially selling like mainstream stuff sounds like, that's why we can never reproduce that mainstream mixing and mastering sound. But this is completely false. That is only half of the picture. While it may be true that maybe you don't have like $7,000 compressors and limiters and stuff at your disposal, the development of the internet and of technology has made it possible for you to have something similar to that and much lower cost. And this is through the use of plugins. Plugins are mini programs that you can run on your DAW or whatever bigger program you use to produce music. I'll show you later. That'll make it easier for me to just explain it and tell. But plugin is just like a smaller program within the bigger program that uses algorithms to manipulate the effect of its actual three-dimensional counterpart in real life. That sounds really scientific and nerdy, but it's like, for example, you have this compressor in real life, and then some engineers will write a program to copy and imitate what the compressor does in a small program on your computer. And so that's what a plugin is. And so you can so nowadays there's really no excuse of not being able to do this. But the reason why that the people who say this are 50% wrong because the other 50% of the story is training your ear. And so to get your mixes to sound professional, there's actually two halves. The first half is obviously you need the right equipment, you need the arm. The second half is you need the ear. And when you have both of these and you use it together in a mutually constructive way, where you use the ear to receive the signals and to process everything, and then you use your arm to change what you think needs to be processed. When you can understand, you can hear the subtle nuances in the music, and then you have your arm, you have the programs at your disposal to correct it or change it or manipulate it as how you feel. That's when you get that professional sounding mix. And so I just want to make it clear, that's how you do it. That's what I've learned from all these years. I used to be one of those people who used to blame my cruddy sounding mixes on not having the right programs and plugins, but it really isn't. You know, I've learned from a lot of bigger producers that, you know, a lot of the stuff they use is the same stuff we use. I mean, they use, like, I don't know about you, but for me, I use FL Studios. They use the same exact DAW. And then on top of that, they use like very similar plugins, if not the same as what I use. And yeah, speaking of plugins, let me give you guys a list, if you actually are watching this video to this point, of which plugins to get or which plugins I use. You definitely want to try to get the Waves bundle with like all the Waves plugins. I don't remember what it's called, but try to get some Waves plugins because Waves are really good. Primarily speaking, I'm talking about the CLA plugins, CLA 2A, CLA 76. Get the Maserati plugins. Get the Puig plugins, Joseph JPP plugins. I forgot. Get the de-esser. Get the vocal writer. Get the. You want to also get the Waves tune, I guess, if you're doing a lot of vocal mixing. And yeah, these are the main 7 plugins from Waves you should add. On top of that, you should also try to get the T-Rax plugins, T-Rax plugins. Get the Isotope Ozone plugin. I use Isotope Ozone 5, as you'll see in my videos. And then also get PSP Vintage Warmer. If you do a lot of electronic music, you might want to look into Glitch. Might want to look into the Data Live Sausage Fattener for synths. And yeah, there's a lot. I'll go over all these in more detail, but for now, I guess try to get Waves and try to get Isotope if you don't have those plugins already. And so yeah, sorry for all this delay, but I'm going to start talking about stuff that you want to learn right now, hopefully. Okay, so what is frequency? Frequency is a measurement of vibration. But what is vibration? Vibration is essentially life. Okay, this is and I'm gonna get kind of more than what you need to know. I guess maybe might even be kind of religious in a way, but everything in life is a vibration. You see me because the light from outside the window are coming in, bouncing off, reflecting off of my face and into the camera. And this is all vibration. Light is a vibration. Everything in life is a vibration, whether it be like noise, like as I'm speaking right now, or whether it be light, or just the course of life. Everything is a vibration, and then the vibration is a sine wave. It goes up and goes down, and goes up and it goes down, and it goes up and it goes down. If you think about it, you can relate every single thing in life to that, whether it be relationships, it could be physics, it could be, you know, cycles, life cycles, it could be time, it could be anything. It all follows this vibrational attribute. So everything in life goes up, it goes down, it goes up and goes down, it goes up and goes down. That is vibration, and frequency is a measure of vibration. Frequency is essentially how many times the vibration goes up and goes down, and then comes back to the same exact point in a second. That's a frequency. So like 20,000 hertz would be like a vibration that goes up and down. It goes like up and down, and it goes back to the same point. That it does that like 20,000 times in a second. So that's 20,000 hertz versus like 20 hertz, where it only goes and does that for like 20 times a second. So that is frequency, and sound is made up of all sorts of frequencies on top of each other. Let me show you a picture. Alright, what's up guys? I'm back. Okay, so this is Isotope RX. You don't have to worry about this because this is probably too complicated for you guys at this point. But I'm gonna bring up something to show you what a frequency versus time graph looks like. Let's say. Okay, so as you can see, this is time, the horizontal axis. The frequency is the vertical axis. And if I zoom in, like say here, you can see that music or noise is made up of various frequencies. As you can see, the brighter sections are where more frequencies are stronger in terms of decibels. So technically this is like a 3D graph. Like the brightness indicates the decibel value of the frequency. And so you can see there's frequencies of like maybe like 200, 300 hertz. There's bands of 1,000 hertz. It goes all the way up to like around here, which could be like 17,000. But you know, oh, I forgot to tell you. So the human ear perceives frequencies from 20 hertz to 20,000, but a lot of people really aren't even able to hear that range. They usually hear maybe like 40 to like 17,000 or something, but that's like the limit, I think, for normal human hearing. So that's what we work with when we do audio engineering. And so this is what it looks like. You can see there's bunch of frequencies. That's what makes the music. Music is just harmonic patterns of frequencies. Like you can see here, these frequencies are spaced like in a, I don't know how to describe this, but they're spaced in a geometrically in a geometric pattern. I know you probably, that does make sense if I say that, but they're spaced in a pattern. They're spaced in a pattern that makes sense harmonically. And that's what makes music. Yeah, I don't want to play this because I'm gonna be releasing this track actually like next week, so I don't want to spoil anything. But actually, I'll play a bit. But so it gets, for example, this passage right here would sound like. Crap. Actually, I don't want to play it. Yeah. So that is frequency. That is one way of looking at music from the audio engineering's view. You can look at it in terms of frequency like this, or you can look at it in terms of voltage, which I can do like going like this. Yeah. So as you can see, this is like the stuff I was talking about earlier. How music is waves on top of waves on top of, oscillations on top of oscillations on top of oscillations. So here you can see you have like a lower frequency, and here you have higher frequencies, and that's what music is. And then it looks like that. So as you can, well, you can't see, but this is an unmastered. This is what an unmastered track looks like. You can see it's not completely pushed all the way up to 0 decibels. You can see there's a lot of space, a lot of headroom here. This is what unmastered tracks look like. There's a lot of spikes and stuff. Whereas a master track would look like almost like a blob, like a rectangle if zoomed out far enough, because all the levels are pushed all the way to the maximum usually. Okay, so yeah, enough of this. What was I saying? Enough of this BS. Let's look at FL Studios. So let's see. Let me pull up an old project. Yeah, a lot of this is crap. Okay, so I'll just show you a simple tool audio engineers use in
mixing mastering process that everybody should know of. I know this video is taking way too long. You don't even need to know this much information. I promise I'll make the videos more concise in the future. But yeah, because music can be viewed as a form of frequency versus time, we can manipulate certain frequencies in the music to help to make it sound better. So that's a way of using the art form aspect of science in audio engineering, how you can use creatively manipulate and play around with the frequencies to make something sound better. Um, because this what I just pulled up, this is the master, so this is like the whole thing. This is my headlines track actually. Yeah, so look, for example, if I pull up, this is a tool we use called parametric EQ. I don't actually know what I mean. Parametric is like you have parameters, and then EQ. I don't equalize. EQ stands for equalization. Um, and I don't actually know how to use this properly. I'm gonna put that out there. I know you're supposed to because proper EQ you have specific forms of EQ. Like you have shelves, which is like if you go like no, not like that. If you go like that, that's a shelf. And then you have like I don't know, they call like dips and other stuff. I don't do that. I just like go here and then I just like do whatever I want. So I don't do EQ properly. But my way works too. It's not like it's a stupid way. But for example, if you pull up like a piece of music like this, let me lower it up. And then you look at the EQ, you can see you have lots of bands of frequencies. You have low frequencies, middle range, and you have high frequencies. And for example, let me just show you. If I boost a certain frequency, this is what it sounds like. And then let me turn on the music. So like this versus, you can see that by boosting around 100, 200 hertz, you can boost like the meat of the mix. And this is the important frequency to know of for producers. But now I'm going to show you what it sounds like if I sweep across all the frequencies, so you can hear what each frequency sounds like in a mix. You probably can't hear this because my speakers can't produce this music or this frequency. And these are cuts. A cut? Ah. A cut is basically just the opposite of a boost. And yeah, so as you can see, if you play around with frequencies, you can, well, obviously not something that drastic, but something more subtle and precise. You can drastically improve the sound of and the quality of your audio track, which I will be talking about in the next video. So yeah, this is it. Thank you for watching. If you actually watched all of this, if you want to learn anything specifically, I mean, I'm always down to like detour and then just address whatever you guys want to learn, because this is all about like what you guys want to learn. I'm just trying to teach like the basics, but if you guys want to learn something specific, write a comment and then I'll address it in the next video. And so yeah, thank you guys for watching. This is DJ Cross and sign out. See you guys in the next video.